Hello, everyone.
Hello. Leo Vader.
I can't overstate what an honor it is to be with you both.
It is a fun change of pace. Speaking of which, what are we looking at here, Dan?
So first off, we're going to provide this without commentary as well, if you like to see the gameplay.
Okay,
Good
what
plug.
is this?
This is World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
They're still making this, huh?
This is the upcoming expansion. It'll launch sometime next year. This is the first area of the afterlife that players will go to. It is known as Bastion. It is ruled by the Kyrians. As you can see right there, that's a Kyrian that we're talking to. This is a mage character. We're learning Radiant Spark, which is a covenant ability. So as you go through the afterlife, you will receive class-specific abilities like this one. And at the end of the leveling experience, you'll get to side with a faction permanently, not semi-permanently. It'll cost you a lot to change.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're going to want to stick with your faction. And you'll get that ability unlocked permanently. This is sort of an exploratory thing as you go through the levels to see which ones you like.
Okay. So this is a race of the Na'vi from Avatar.
Oh, that's good.
What's
That's
going
good.
on?
No, this zone was more inspired by, for one thing, so if you've played World of Warcraft, you've died a lot.
15 years ago.
You've probably died 15 years ago in World of Warcraft.
I think that's why I stopped playing.
Yeah.
This is permadeath, right?
So when you died, you would talk to a spirit healer to get rezzed if you couldn't get back to your body.
Yeah.
These guys are the ones who are the spirit healers are part of this faction.
Okay.
These guys, let's say you led a really good life. So this expansion is all about the afterlife. Let's say you were a good guy.
Uh-oh.
This is where you go to the afterlife if you were a good guy.
Okay.
Valorous, pure, virtuous, patient. This is all about perfecting yourself in the afterlife in the hopes of eventually becoming an angel or an archangel in this faction.
Do you think it successfully deepens the lore? Is the world more interesting because of these?
I think that this zone, the four major zones of the expansion that you can side with, this being one of them, this one's probably the least exciting.
You got to build up.
Yeah,
So we're
you
starting
kind
from
of
here.
do. Just because this is the traditional, if I'm going to put a point onto it, this is sort of Elysium or Heaven or that kind of experience. And that's just frankly not the most interesting afterlife experience, right?
No.
We've explored this one extensively in myths and lore and legend throughout history.
And we're all going there, so
That's why I'm a self-styled bad boy. Is I don't want to go here.
And we have a zone for that
boring.
too, but you can check out GameInformer.com for some exclusive looks at that one later this month.
wow.
But yeah, that's Revendreth, and we got a tour of that zone exclusively for us, and it was incredible. I think it's going to be my new favorite zone ever
Okay, nice.
in the game, which says a lot.
Did you like the last expansion?
Yeah, I did. I liked it when it launched. I know BFA has come under a lot of fire, a lot of the endgame systems,
That's what I've heard.
and that's true. A lot of people really don't like Mythic and Titan Forge. We're getting really into the weeds here.
I'm just curious if it improves on the things people were dissatisfied with.
I
in
think
that
a lot
expansion.
of those things are going to be addressed in this expansion. We've only, what we've heard anyway. So this is, we're doing some introductory quests here. This one's kind of interesting. So what we're doing is like sort of purifying. There's lots of purification involved in this afterlife, right? You're facing your old memories and purifying them. This is this experience here is based on your reputations that you've acquired over the years. So you might face enemies based on, like, let's say you got exalted with a certain faction. You might fight those guys as a memory. You're sort of purifying your memories. It's sort of a cool nod. If you're a new character, there's sort of generic ones that you can do, like this one. This is from the Legion, the Legion invasion.
It's a fake memory.
Everyone went through this one. Theoretically, your character did,
How
right?
cynical have we become where that giant, cool-looking guy is just boring?
That's an infernal, and it's totally not boring. It's totally sweet.
Okay, good.
Ew.
I'm glad we're on the same page. It's
It's-
recalibrated.
Theoretically, it's a bad memory of, we're cleansing. A lot
Okay.
of cleansing in this, purifying, cleansing.
So your nice memories of like long walks and whatnot, staring at the ocean, those don't need to be cleansed.
Right.
So you don't get them.
Those
here.
are good.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are set.
All
This-
those sweet times you spent manipulating the auction house.
Now, see, in this zone, you might be like, well, if this is like the version of Heaven or Elysium,
Uh-huh.
there's got to be a catch, right? And yes, there is. There's actually sort of like fallen angels that are also in this zone that have a different plan for how this afterlife should be conducted. You won't see them in this introductory experience today, but every one of these zones, for the players that side with it. So let's say I finish the campaign, I get to the new level cap, right?
Yep.
I get
Say
to
that.
60, and I come back here and I say, I want to join with you guys. Perhaps that's the quest line that we'll explore. And we'll get to meet and interact with those factions. And that's exclusive to people who side with the faction. So each one of those realms will have a completely new post-leveling campaign, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
So this right here is you can see that there's a little purple outline on that guy. If you're familiar with Pandaria, this is going to be after your time cork, but these little purple things you can find in the world, these are basically like there were treasures and world events you could trigger for bonus XP and loot. So this is sort of that kind of experience. However, this one has variables, which makes it more interesting if you're going to do it more than once.
What kind of variables?
As you can see, the little thing on the pedestal there is sort of a unicorn kind of critter.
Okay.
Perhaps next time you come back, it's a different kind of creature.
A horse of a different color.
And you'll learn something new about that creature and its place in the Shadowlands.
Okay. How different are these different creatures to fight? I know very little about WoW.
I would imagine... I have not fought anyone but this one. But I would imagine they are all very similar. That's not... The point is just to give you a sort of... For those who are looking for it, a little bit more of an extended lore rather than just, hey, kill this thing, get some loot.
But you get to do that, too.
You do.
That's a part of it.
We just did it right there. Look at that. Clean kill.
Look at that beautiful creature.
We got this cool new thing, the Glimmerfly Cocoon, which is a toy. Look at that.
That's fun.
Now we can do that on cooldown.
Just to show off?
Yep, it's purely cosmetic. If you want to shoot out Glimmerflies,
I do.
It's sort of to, again, this is all sort of to immerse you in the aesthetic of this zone. You can see here we've got all these people like sitting around learning, eating ambrosia. It's very, very pleasant. This is a very pleasant zone. This is the good afterlife. Now here's a catch, another interesting catch. Nobody has been able to go here for several expansions worth of WoW content. So one of the conceits of this expansion is that the new big bad, known as the Jailer, who we don't know much about, has cordoned off the afterlife. So all the souls that have died in Azeroth for about 2 expansions worth of content have gone directly to hell, for lack of a better term. It's a place called the Maw. So everybody's gone there, and it's to fuel one of his nefarious plans that we don't know much about yet.
I bet it involves jail.
We can assume that he's, some master evil plot, as always.
So when you're in this area, are you able to travel back to World of Warcraft proper at will, or do you have to go through this?
You are able to. This
so
is
then you want to show off those cool flies, then, to be like, I was in heaven for a while.
You can take them back with you.
I got fleas in heaven.
So to note, this is not actually the hub zone of this area. There's a hub city that players will go to go to various hubs of the afterlife. And you can go back to Azeroth from there.
Okay.
You'll access this area from the Frozen Throne, where in a really cool cinematic, which I'm sure you can check out online, where Sylvanas takes off the Lich King, the Helm of Domination, rips it off and shatters it. Hence creating the rift between the afterlife and the regular world.
And we hate that?
We have the ability to travel through and hopefully fix this. This is a rather huge problem.
Yeah. True.
That we'll explore as we get through the expansion. As you can see on a purple thing here. So it's going to be just a cool treasure you grab. That's very much like a Pandaria treasure where you're just like, hey, I'm walking around.
Free treasure.
I see a purple glint. I'll grab it and get some stuff.
So this is not you playing, but you did play this at Blizzard.
That's correct. I got to play it both at Blizzard for the cover story and at BlizzCon.
How much have you played overall, would you say?
Just this area twice.
Okay.
This is not me playing. I did get to capture my own footage when I was out there, but the footage had a lot of quirky little developer errors that they were happy enough to provide us with some new footage of the same zone.
Yeah.
Essentially the same experience, just without me playing.
Those are fun. I like seeing the little errors.
There were probably too many of those errors in the footage that I cut.
Sure.
As you can see, we still have a ways off from this expansion. We're looking at next year.
Oh, yeah, really? It's that far off still?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have everything very fleshed out. Like I said, we got a really good dive into each of the factions. You can read all about it in Game Informer, the magazine, physical or digital. Physical editions have some really great covers. And, of course, we have content all month. I'm going to be posting a exclusive... not only am I going to be posting my tour of Revendreth, which is exclusive, I'm also going to be posting the Death Knight Covenant abilities, which are also exclusive to Game Informer. And they will go up this month.
Look at us.
I know, right? We just... Video games, gaming gamers.
Yeah, loving it.
That's what we do.
All right, we jumped ahead.
We jumped ahead just a little bit. See, we're fighting some aspirants who are meditating in combat meditation, as we call it here. See, everything's got a good spin on it in this zone. Like, nobody's really killing each other.
They like it when you kill them.
We're aspiring to greatness, right? We're finding ourselves. A lot of self-reflection, introspection. If you were like a really good paladin type hero, this is where you end up. in theory. Instead, everyone here is actually very excited to see us because we're the first visitor in a very long time, as no souls have come here.
Right.
So time passes normally for them?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think so.
Ugh.
I think it's 1-to-1 time.
Yeah.
However, these beings have lived for like eons before Azeroth even was created, so this is like a whole new concept. We're entering sort of like the cosmic realm of the WoW lore, so we're way off the beaten path. No trolls or orcs here. Like, this existed long before the reality of the first orc was created, you know?
Yeah. So be honest, what percentage of the World of Warcraft story do you understand, Dan Tech?
You know, honestly, a lot of the WoW story is pretty cut and dry. So I'd say like 70%.
Ah.
What happened in Legion?
You know, the name is really apt for that one, where we fight off the Burning Legion. The Burning Legion the first big moment where we fought them in big numbers was the Burning Crusade. Everybody really liked that one, so it's kind of no surprise that we went back to it for Legion and got to take them on again.
Right on.
And I'm sure someday we'll fight them again. Like they're a huge faction, and even though they're gone for now, there's always some caveat, right?
Yeah, they made the assets, so you may as well.
They can bring back like some void terror that brings them all back to life or something. When we'll fight like void versions of the Legion, which would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Write that one down, Blizzard. That one's free.
Oh my.
Oh. Are you working with any interesting abilities here that
So-
surprised you?
The Covenant ability is pretty cool, and again, it's going to change on your class. So for the mage here, it's that Spark ability, which you throw on, and it's either you can just toss it and cast spells, and it's fine. But if you're trying to get the maximum out of your DPS rotation, once you have that Radiant Spark on the enemy, the first spell you cast after it does 25% more damage. Second does 50, third 75, and then fourth, if you can fit all your spells into that little timing window, you get a 100% bonus, so you want to time your big burst spell at the end of it, and you can get a really nice pop. So you can just weave that into your rotation very nicely.
Right on.
Yeah, we're just walking around killing stuff. You see these aspiring souls over here, they're like, hey,
Kill us.
We
We're so bored.
We want to be cool too.
Did you talk to them about WoW Classic while we were at Blizzard?
A little bit. Obviously, that was not the focus of our visit.
Of course.
I did get to talk to him about how Classic has inspired certain aspects of Shadowlands. The major one being this new zone, that is not this zone, called the Maw, which is, if this is heaven, the Maw is hell. Right? That's where the worst of the worst souls go. Nobody can get out of there. There is no redemption for souls that are cast there. That's just like really evil people, okay? And that zone is extremely hazardous to explore, and that taken from Classic, the element of danger being in your zone. Not like this, right? Where it's just like we're just kind of casually walking around, doing our quests, collecting quests, and having a blast. The Maw is unfriendly, and the zone will actually try to kill you. So here's the end of this quest chain. We kill a big security golem kind of guy that these guys have to protect their stuff. Since they're angels, they don't like to get their hands dirty. They have these giant animated golem type deals. Anyway, back to the Maw. So anytime you do anything in the Maw, you guys have played like Grand Theft Auto, right? The concept of you're gonna get more cars chasing you and choppers eventually as you do things. So the more activities you do in the Maw, you kind of get this Eye of Sauron kind of effect from the jailer in there. He's like, I notice you. You better chill out and get the hell out of here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you keep doing stuff, he's going to be like, well, all right, I'm going to send a hit squad against him. And then if you stand there long enough, he'll just start, like, sending all the, like, just against you. Like, forget your friends. He's just going to try to kill you. And eventually the zone's environments might actually turn on you, too. Like, meteors from the sky, chains from the ground. Like, you're going down if you fool around in that zone too much.
So if you play GTA 5, you're going to love this.
Leo, I think that's what I said. I think that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, great.
So here we're completing sort of we're completing this quest chain into the zone, completing our purification process, sort of a baptism of sorts here. Sloughing off our old painful memories and stuff like that.
And you said Johnny Cash is a real person's name at Blizzard?
That's correct.
Interesting choosing to go by Johnny, in that situation.
Yeah.
Just lean into it. I
It's a bold
respect that.
move.
He was a very cool guy.
Yeah.
I actually played with him during the demo.
Does he play music?
I did not have a chance to ask him for a tune, but I bet he's quite talented in that regard.
If I were him, I'd go by the good Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
Throw a little shade.
I would definitely identify as a good.
Yeah, that'd be my username.
So we're pulling the the bad stuff from ourselves. We're going into these soul mirrors and, you know, taking out these reflections of misery. Sloughing off the bad stuff of our soul. And this is to, you know, to ascend.
Yeah. You can go to therapy or you can do this.
Yeah, you have two choices.
Right. My therapist is always saying, imagine you're fighting your anguished memory.
Yeah, I do that every day, man.
Yeah, true. Just trying to get by.
Yeah. Me and Leo actually were the inspiration for all this, you know.
Yeah, they
Just hang
looked
out
inside
there.
our minds,
Yeah.
our twisted minds. You did it, man.
Yeah.
Or it's whoever that was playing.
Now here's something important we're gonna acquire at the end of this cycle.
An important acquisition coming up.
Big pillow.
Won't want to miss it.
I would love to get a big pillow. That'd be a nice ability.
Yeah.
Just a big fluffy pillow. That way, like when you're waiting for the raid to start, you could just go to sleep on it. I like it. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
You know, put that in the toy chest.
Yeah. That one will cost you a little bit, Blizzard, but it's close to free.
It's close. All right.
You have his email.
All right. So we got the rituals completed here.
Is it confusing to have
Now
two
this-
bastions in the Blizzard universe?
I think it is. So we get this new skill called Unburden, and this is the Covenant-specific ability. So this isn't class-specific, but if you side with Bastion, you will get this ability permanently. And it is a pretty cool ability that lets you, basically, it's like Blink, but better. If you're familiar with the mage skill Blink, it teleports you across the land.
Yeah.
It de-aggroes the enemies, and it has a lot of mobility applications. This is a skill that isn't really, combat-focused like the Radiant Spark, or the things you're going to get as your class ability, which are designed to be used in combat. These abilities that you get from these factions are sort of more utility abilities.
Utility ability.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
It's fun to say and to hear.
And that one you don't even have to pay a subscription for. You can just say it at home.
I like it, Leo. That's good stuff.
That was really nice how they formed like a little path for you to walk by and landed. Like,
Yeah, we're on our path to becoming
graduating.
We're on our path to becoming
Yeah.
an angel.
yeah.
Are you going to get those wings at the end? Spoilers?
I would assume, I don't know, but I assume that if you eventually side with this faction, you will get a similar look to these guys. If you go the whole, you're going to have to probably grind for half a year, right? But you'll get there.
Do you think if there's somebody who isn't into WoW, do you think there's anything in this update that would change their minds? Like any kind of big change that could interest new players?
I guess the new leveling experience. So instead of being like level 130, instead of going to 130, we're going to be squishing down, and it's going to be 1 to 60 again.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
And the new player experience will be new. So from levels 1 to 10, you'll have a completely new experience where you sort of just learn about the Alliance and the Horde. And then you'll play through Battle for Azeroth from levels 10 to 50. And then you come here at 50 and do this experience. Now,
Wow.
let's say you've already got a high-level character, and you don't really want to play through BFA again. You don't have to. You can play through any of the expansions from 10 to 50 on your alt, and it'll be the full leveling experience, 10 to 50. So you can be like, hey, you know what? I'm not really feeling it BFA, so I'm going to do...
So you're saying it guides you to that, but it's not mandatory?
well, for doing your alts, you can actually go to Chromie. She's a time dragon. That's the Unburdened skill right here.
Nice.
That's cool.
You can go to Chromie and say, I want to play the Burning Crusade, this character. And you'll do 10 to 50 in the Burning Crusade. Or Pandaria. Or
Okay.
Wrath of the Lich King. Whatever. It'll be the full leveling experience. It'll be quicker than it used to be. And you'll get... one of the goals with this level squish was that you'll get something new every single level. Whether it's skills, mounting... they want to make it so there's no dead levels. A lot of leveling in the current WoW is just like, all right, I've gained 5 levels and I don't really care. I haven't gained anything. But you're going to get new skills and stuff every single level now that they've got everything packed down to 60 levels again.
Sure.
And then the end goal is to hope that you don't have to keep adding levels in order to keep the thing going,
Now, when you say Chromie, are you talking about the little things you put on your bike wheel that have a little skull on it, and everybody would steal them off each other's bikes?
So Chromie is a dragon in the Warcraft universe associated with time. She often presents herself as a little adorable little gnome.
Oh.
So if you've seen her in game, that's probably what you've seen her as. She doesn't usually take dragon form. When she interacts with lesser beings like ourselves, she's typically in the form of a gnome.
So we could comprehend her, what she is, right?
Right. So it's just not, it's kind of weird to just be like, yo, what's up? Into just some giant dragon stuffed in the middle of a town. That disturbs people.
So in this version of Heaven, are there stores where you can buy things?
Yep, there are still vendors and everything.
Okay.
Now, they do use a different currency in the afterlife. You'll still be repairing your stuff with gold and all that, but there's something called anima that you'll be seeing and acquiring, and perhaps even trading to soul brokers, who are a race that can actually go through these realms. Normally, if you're going to the afterlife, you're kind of stuck in that zone for the rest of your... for forever, right?
Rest of your afterlife.
The soul brokers are kind of these shady merchant kind of class who is looking for an edge.
That's a fun stereotype.
Right? So, trading souls. I mean, that's what they are, man. Like,
What's their accent like?
great question. I didn't actually get to talk to one.
Good. They probably don't want you to hear it.
For those of you familiar with Warcraft, they are sort of similar to the ethereals that we've seen before.
Ethereal.
So these guys are like, ostensibly just merchants looking for a quick deal, but they often have more nefarious plans that they're working on. And because of the soul drought in every one of these realms that's hurting them a lot, like the thing is, these zones need souls to do anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? They need them coming in. And since they're not coming in, these soul brokers have kind of been able to gain a new edge that they haven't gotten before. Back in the day, they were kind of like, on the edges of civilization, sort of like getting the scraps, unwanted souls and whatever they could get. But today, because there's no drought, they have a lot of leverage for these people to sort of sell their wares, if you will.
Is that owl that keeps walking back and forth carrying the Torah? Is that what's going on there?
No, I don't believe that is.
Okay. Just a fun Easter egg.
Yeah.
That is one of the servant class souls in this realm that were created.
Oh, servants in heaven.
Yeah, they're called wardens, I think. I
Yeah.
could have that wrong.
People had
Is
low
it-
self-esteem when they died.
Yeah, is it heaven for them, or do they die and go to their heaven after?
They are in bliss. Everyone in here is in
Oh.
bliss, except for this. As you can see, there's turmoil. There's all these things out here. There's turmoil because there have been no new souls here for so long.
A lot of turmoil.
And they could be sadists, and their version of heaven is torturing this
Now,
Subs.
void walker thing.
now one of the realms is full of sadists, and we're gonna get that's the Revendreth realm, which is full of vampiric sadists.
And what did you say later in the month for that?
Yeah, it's gonna be written, so unfortunately
sure.
you won't get to see it, but trust me,
I'll
it's
believe it.
awesome.
I'd go to GameInformer.com/Blizzard if I was curious about checking that out.
That's a great idea, Leo. I might
Very
do
cool. Look at this cool guy.
that. Yeah, he's mean,
Yeah.
but he was no match.
You truly did save the best for last.